You guys, it's the kid, 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 it's the kid. I get it, I get it. I was slightly late. Relax. I was cooking my meal. And see here, I was cooking my meal in here. So this is going to be a chill out session, guys. This is going to be a chill out session where we're just going to talk, and we're just so really. I mean, I've got like a few news topics to talk about, but this is really going to be a back and forth. Ask me a few questions and just random chill out session before obviously we do the Saturday hangouts later on, man. So hopefully all of you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys have your meal ready. I have my Purdy's. I've got my vitamin D pills. Relax, it's not drugs. It's vitamin pills. And I've got my my meal ready. So but before this, what meal is everyone having? I want to know what meal is everyone having. Please tell me your meal or your snack. I want to know what meal everyone is having, because I always strive for these meals, and we're going to be doing this weekly. These chill and meals. I want you guys to at least have a certain kind of meal to have so that we can go through. So please tell me what meals all of you guys are having. So shout out to everyone in here. Shout out to your boy. Shout out to your boy. Shout out to your boy. For the time with the hanger. Yo. Shout out for your boy. Shout out for your boy, man. So please tell me, because again, I'm having noodles, chicken, and I'm having this bottle of Purdy's here. So while you tell me your meals, or while you get your meals ready, let's just really start off with the first shebang. And there are two main topics I wanted to talk about, which are the Portland riots, and because stuff that was going there seems a bit wild, a bit crazy. So I want to know what the hell is happening. And Logic retiring from rap. And I especially want to focus on Logic retiring from rap. Okay, banana. Oh, stir fry rice. So is that stir fry rice that you cooked, or is that stuff that you ordered in? Suppose you can't be watching my live with just water. Get a meal or get a snack. Come on, get it. It's Saturday night. It's Saturday night. Get a meal or get a snack. Get a meal or get a snack. So let's just first start off with this whole Portland thing, just to see what the heck has been happening. So I'm just going to read this out to you guys, man. Let me even share this with you all. All right, here we have it. Okay, let me boost this up. So how did we get here? So in case some of you don't know, like, Portland has been trending all the way through on Twitter because the protests are still happening, and apparently they say like soldiers and policemen are kidnapping people. So these are like tactics you'd see in like an authoritarian regime. And I think I even read that the Portland mayor himself, he was tear gassed. So they're even disrespecting the mayor himself. So all the stuff that's happening there is crazy. So let's just see what happens. So this just says that the protests we are seeing in Portland largely began after the death of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police officers. A city known for its robust and spirited activism quickly joined other communities across the nation in taking the streets to demand racial justice and police accountability. Portland is different, however, in that the protest movements here took on another cause after President Donald Trump sent in federal forces around the July 4th holiday in order to protect federal statues. That influx of federal agents was met with anger by many demonstrators who viewed the move as an attempt by the US government to occupy their city. Since that time, a federal building downtown has largely served as the epicenter of ongoing protests, mostly peaceful with periods of violence at night, as demonstrators continue to demand the Trump administration remove federal officers from the city. So what's the state of the standoff now? Portland is now witnessing a standoff between protesters and an administration that continues to ratchet up its heated rhetoric to falsely describe the city as being in a state of total chaos and anarchy. While there have been incidents of rioting at night, including people launching fireworks at the federal building, setting fires outside and allegedly attacking federal agents, the focal point of the activity largely centers on the city block housing of the federal building. Despite the president's descriptions, Portland is not a city under siege. I think, as I said again, 2020 has peaked. In case you guys don't know, in case you guys are wondering, 2020 has peaked. This already has gone down as perhaps one of the craziest, wildest years of all time. And at the center of all this is Trump. Like, people, at the center of all this madness is Trump, because I still believe, this is my belief. I don't know whether you guys agree. My belief is that Trump never wanted to be president. Trump never wanted to be president. What he wanted to do was increase his brand. Think about it, guys. Why doesn't Trump tweet from the official president's account? You realize that there is a US president's account and there's a personal account. So when Barack Obama was tweeting, he tweeted all the way through the presidential account. Then after he became president, then he then took up his personal account. Trump has been tweeting from his personal account. So why do you think that is? He's a businessman, and he knows that this presidency can totally increase my brand and increase my relevancy. Because I told you, the guy, he's got a very, very, very fragile ego, extremely fragile ego, and he's always been a semi-brick for most of his life. And because he's been a semi-brick for most of his life, you want to prove yourself. So you're desperate to prove yourself. And what Trump needs are people who fully support him. Even if you're a neo-Nazi, total psychopath, but you support him and you love him, he will ride for you. He may not agree with your views, but it's like, if you support me, I will find a way to ride with you and coax ways of rolling with you, because he's got a fragile ego and he needs support. This is the highest he's ever been. Because guys have said, like, he's never really been that much of a successful businessman. Everything he got was from his paps. So when you see how he's been operating with regards to his administration and dealing with these protests, he is listening to the guys who he knows love him, support him, and ride with him. So who are those guys? Those are the guys who are maybe ultra right-wing people who are like, F these troublemakers, F these rioters, get the army in there and F a shop. Okay, bust their asses, because these guys are removing statues and all this kind of stuff. And Trump is like, wait, do you love me? No, first thing is that, do you love me? Do you support me? All right, what do you need? Those people that support me and love me, I will listen to you 1000%. And goodness knows what's going to happen by November. Because see, the issue is this, that America is our empire. If, let's say, we did this hundreds of years ago, when like the Roman Empire were popping off, or when the Egyptian Empire were popping off, anything the Egyptian or the Roman Empire did, we had to know, because it affects the rest of the world. So whoever the American president is fully crucial. Remember when Bush was president? What happened? The Iraq War. The Iraq War. That's what happened. You know. So, and Trump has been at the cusp of a war with Iran. You know, but the issue is that as much as he wants to try and go to war with Iran to try and maybe keep his presidency, you've got a domestic war at home. So what you're obviously seeing in Portland are bits of what you've been seeing everywhere else, which is that America. And this is maybe a question for you guys, especially for you guys who live in America. But this is just from a guy living on Mars looking on the outside in. Has America ever been this split before? I get the civil rights movement was obviously about rioting, a change in racial politics and so forth. But in terms of splitting ideologies, has this ever been this split before? Well, it is hard to have a middle ground. Because, see, now, be very clear here. Twitter is a microcosm. Twitter is a microcosm. Twitter isn't the be all and end all. But it does seem to be either you're a liberal and you're for LGBTQ, all these rights, Trump is a devil, all this kind of stuff, or you're a right wing, which is that you're against identity politics and virtue signaling, and you roll with the army, and what are these guys protesting for? And it seems as if America is split down the middle. So whatever the case may be, these elections are going to pop off. You know, these elections are going to pop off. For but how's it though? Think your boss. Has it always been like this though? This split, you know? Because my argument is Trump, as in there's never been. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, there's never been a president who's coming and been like, "Yo, what up? Yo, Danny, if you want to jump onto this stream, tell me, and then I'll send you a link, bro. If you want to jump into this stream, Danny, man. But you guys, yeah, civil war, yeah, 100%. Okay, like there was a literal war. Some dudes say, "Yo, we want to ride with the slaves." Guys said, "Nah, we don't want to ride with those slaves." But let's just be real. I think it was even the Republicans who freed the slaves. And how friendly are the Democrats really to African Americans? That's another tidbit, you know, and that's just something that you learn deeper because, you know, whenever when you grow up or when you watch Hollywood films, Hollywood projects that conservatives bad, liberals good, Democrats good, conservatives bad. You're like, oh, really? But then when you're not developing and grow up, you say, wait a minute, I actually do have some conservative views. Yes, there's some views I have that are liberal, but there's some views that I have that are conservative, and I think ultra liberals are quite scary. You know, so let's say, all right, let me bring my homie thingy. Ultra liberals are super scary. So, but it's true. I mean, but my thing about it is that we now have the introduction of social media, and I think social media has illuminated. Oh, good. Your boy Danny can come. So I can have something. Has actually illuminated how crazy things have been. We have to stop blaming Trump for everything. What does Trump sign that stopped your everyday life in the hood? People blame Trump for everything, but don't know their own. Again, this is something that I've learned from before. Is that the whole Trump thing? It just gets tiresome, and what I've learned about American politics and what people have always said is, who cares who the president is? Vote for the lawmakers in your district. Vote because the lawmakers and the governor, those are the guys that vote for the lawyers, the district attorneys, and the police chiefs. Because the way that America operates is different from like most other countries. Like, for instance, it's very different from like Nigeria. Like in Nigeria, the president is boom. I don't care what you do. I can overrule whatever any of you guys in the States do. But in America, the states have their own specific laws, and there is only so much a president can do for a state. So a state can say, no, we are riding with this, and we go. Florida. So for instance, in Nigeria, the Florida situation with COVID couldn't happen because the president was like, no, this is what we're doing as a country. I have decreed this is how we roll. But in America, Florida can say, we are ruling based on the power that we have within our states. That no, we're not going to. This is how we're going to do with this whole COVID thing. Danny, I've sent the link, bro. I've sent the link, Danny. So yeah, stop. I think, and the key thing that being in the whole blame scenario only restricts you. Of like, oh, he's to blame, that's to blame, that's to blame, that's to blame. Yes, blame that person, but do your thing. Do your thing, and that's how you can advance. But look, man, America is. This is how I always view America. America is not a real country. First off, America is a very young country. A very young country compared to England, compared to Germany, compared to France. America is a very, very young country. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I always look about how was America built. It's the same reason why I don't view Australia as a real country. I don't view New Zealand as a real country, because if your land and country is built on crime, murder, the most despicable things that you had to do to take over that land. And it's like a building. If the foundation is rotten, the building can be as beautiful as or whatsoever. But if the foundation is rotten, it'll always come back and bite you in the ass. It's always come back and bite you in the ass. So I just think that, which is why all these protests that are happening is America paying for its sins. Because did America really think that, or did the forefathers really believe? Because see, the forefathers, they knew. So the guys that took in the slaves, kidnapped them from Africa, made them walk, whipped them, beat them, treated them like trash, they knew, hey, there he is. Did they really think that this was not going to come back and bite them in the ass? Of course, of course, we're going to bite them in the ass. 100%, was going to bite them in the ass. So, what we're seeing now, what did I say? Like, America's going to fall. I don't know when when that is or what time that is. I don't know, but it will fall. My fear is, in South America only once, I would rather America as an empire than China. Okay.
What stream have I come into?
Yes. Are you stoned? Did they say you're looking stoned?
I'm tired.
No, I said no. America is going to fall as an empire. All empires rise and fall. But when America does fall, I don't want China to be the main empire. Okay, because I think China is quite scary, and also what China are doing with Hong Kong is also quite messed up. So, Daniel, you are living in the United States of the Americano.
Yes, I am.
What is your take on what is happening in Portland? Is it Portland, Oregon?
Yes.
What is your take on what's happening in Portland, and how are things as extreme as we think they are, or is the media maybe just overhyping it?
What would be an example? If you only watch the big games in the Premier League, so if you only watch Man City against Liverpool, if you only watch Manchester United against Chelsea, you get the impression that, the Premier League is actually really good, or it has the potential of being good. Or if you only tune into La Liga to watch the Clásico or something, you get the impression, Spanish football is great. I think the media highlights, and if we want to call like these protests, like the big matches in America, this is kind of what happens. But they don't show you the mundane, boring Burnley against Southampton. Like they're not putting that on TV because people don't want to watch that. So I do think if you only take your cue from media, America seems a lot more chaotic than it probably is in real life. That's not to say these things aren't happening. Of course they happen, but I don't think it's as common to have issues or like demonstrations like Portland. I think it's a quite unique thing. So I would like it. Portland isn't everywhere. And if you look at the history of Oregon anyway, it's some deep shit. So
I want to I was going on to a little thing about Trump and so forth, and I'm not just maybe just do a slight deep dive into Trump. Now, for our audience out there, Daniel is an American who has his own president blocked.
Wait a minute. No. I was born in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. I'm Canadian, and America's like third on my list of identifications. So I'd go Canada, Uganda, then America last. That's like saying you're British.
Do you have an American passport?
I could get one, yes. I have a Canadian one, though. It's expired, so.
Okay, but you live in America and you are part of the whole American culture. You are on the soil that is, even if it's stolen, it's for the Native Americans.
You're the one in the Batman shirt. You're the one in the Batman shirt. So who's more in the American culture?
Look, my Hollywood baby. Okay, so my thing is that Trump.
Yes. The Donald.
Wait, did he say the devil?
The Donald.
Oh, the Donald. Okay, so let's see. This is my thing on Trump, man, is that He's a businessman and he's an opportunist. But I want to pick your brain with this because I remember I remember watching the 2016? Yeah, 2016 thing. I remember watching it live. And I was one of those guys who I said to everyone in my office that, what? Hillary's winning. Hillary's winning. I remember there was one guy. Yeah, there was one guy, slightly racist dude, who said that Trump was going to win and kept calling Hillary a bitch. But I said, no. There's no way they're gonna vote this dude after all he's done. Like, basically, his victory was he got to this stage. You know, what's it? Grab them by the pussy, all this wild stuff. The victory that he got to this stage, but he's not winning. As I watched everything unfold, and I saw that, I was like, what? And you see, I study body language, and I remember his body language when he sort of got on about to speak from his victory speech. And this was just my sixth sense talking. And my sixth sense said to me that he didn't think he was going to win. And here's my logic here. It's about branding. This presidency thing was about putting him into the populace and making him known. So he'll be like, okay, let me just go there, rough stuff up, say this stuff, be this dude that people are following, maybe gain a following online or so forth, say these things, and then we can roll through. But presidency now, let me just cause enough issues so I can gain a following, because he knew that the country was very split. But he believed that Hillary would win. She's the establishment. She has the backing. She's got the name. She was going to win. So he didn't think he was going to win. And even more so, you know, he tweets using his personal account. If you go to because there is a US president's account, so they just change the image and the bio every time a new president comes. Like
POTUS,
Barack,
at POTUS.
Yeah, at POTUS. So Barack started using his personal account after he left office, but all through the 8 years, Barack used the POTUS account. Trump uses his personal accounts because he's trying to increase his brand. So to that, you say, what? Do you think that he didn't think that he was going to win? Or you thought that he actually was trying to win and he thought that he would win?
I've always been under the assumption he did it just for fun. Just like, I don't have anything else better to do, so why not become president or try to become president? Deep down, I don't think he thought he would win. But I think when he came out, you remember he came down the escalator and it kind of like harkened back to like The Simpsons, and he was like, they're rapists, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, and people kind of identified with that message. I think after a while, because do you remember how many Republicans were on stage during the Republican debates? There were like 15 of them. So I think once each of them dropped, and he remained, it was kind of like, damn, this guy's kind of created a wave for himself, you know. And I guess once he got that, what am I trying to say? His first inclination was just, I'm doing it just because. But I think after a while, I think he did realize this is actually a legitimate thing and I can actually become president. And then he went a little bit even further. So go.
Biden. See, as guys don't see, sorry, during the whole 2016 thing, I did pre-match analysis and post-match analysis of the Hillary thing debate. Those debates were amazing, superb. So my thing is, this is that I've been online watching videos and stuff, and let's deal with like both the left and the right. Right. Now, so do you identify as a Democrat, conservative, independent, or undecided?
No. I think they're all, you could call it a beak, you could call it a wing, you could call it a tummy, you could call it feathers. They're all the same thing on the same bird. Different parts on the same bird. Or like different parts of a car. So the Republicans might be the steering wheel, the Democrats might be the tires, the independents might be the chassis. Like they're all.
What about the Green Party? What about the Green Party? Environment.
Sunroof.
Okay, so so Biden, I'd say people have said, okay, Biden is the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that whole. If you're evil, why am I voting for you? Period. Point blank. You know?
Here's the logic. Again, I'm just using the arguments that people have said. People that say, "Oh man, Trump is horrible. He's terrible. Like this thing that he's doing, he's messing up the country." Then the guy says, "I know, man. This is bad, man. Man, who did you vote for in 2016? Man, I didn't vote for anyone." The guy says, "Wait a minute. You're complaining about Trump. You knew what this guy was going to do based on all the stuff that you're saying, and you're now angry. But if you were so angry, why didn't you vote for Hillary to suppress him?"
Mm-hmm.
So people are saying that you shouldn't even. Again, this is just an argument. I don't really subscribe to it per se, but just want to make the argument to see your response. People say, "Okay, look, deal with the reality. The world isn't perfect. There isn't the perfect candidate to have. So you complaining about Trump and all the stuff that he's doing, your vote could have stopped him becoming president by you voting for Hillary. You not voting for anyone does nothing. Each vote for Hillary, especially in key states,
Right.
would have stopped him becoming president. So you shouldn't really complain if you didn't place a vote for someone, specifically Hillary, which would have stopped him from being president. So let me ask you this: should you complain about Trump being president and the stuff that he's doing if you didn't vote in the 2016 elections?
I've always said you should complain. You have the right to complain if you didn't vote because you weren't involved with any of it. If you vote and you're, I don't want to say complicit in the system, but if you participate in the system, then whatever decision comes from the system, you were then involved. So if you don't vote, for me, it's like I get to complain more because it is, I didn't have a horse in the race, But back to and you said something that made me think. Do you know what the Overton window is?
Who?
The Overton window.
What's that?
Overton, like Everton, but Overton, and then window.
No.
So look it up. We'll do some political science. The Overton window is an approach to identifying the ideas that define the spectrum of acceptable governmental policies. Politicians can only act within the acceptable range. Shifting the Overton window involves proponents of policies outside the window persuading the public to expand the window. So what this means is the Democrats and the Republicans basically create this window of acceptable ideas to the public. So for me, there isn't that great of an overlap between what a Hillary Clinton presidency would have eventually done and what a Donald Trump presidency. Like neither of them are
it's similar, yeah.
Neither of them are radical enough to shift the overall direction of this Overton window. You would need a completely different outside force, someone like a Bernie Sanders, perhaps. And even that's not totally different,
Elizabeth
but it's different.
Warren, maybe.
Something along those lines. Like Trump is just doubling down on the things that Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Obama, and the younger Bush did. Hillary Clinton would have been more of the same in terms of the militarization, in terms of just the overall skullduggery of American imperialism, put it that way. You need someone to shift this window or expand the window greater for me to actually look at it and think, whoa, this is a totally different ideal than anything that would have happened. So people say, oh, if you should have voted for Hillary. I'm like, the same Hillary that killed Gaddafi in Libya? Or that was a big proponent? Like Obama came out and said that was probably the biggest mistake of his presidency, not killing him, but just the response to killing him. And that they didn't do they were playing checkers essentially. Like they didn't read the chessboard. The same way that Bush wasn't playing chess when they took out Saddam Hussein. You didn't realize that there would be a power vacuum and then ISIS or whatever group could come in and kind of establish their dominance. So Trump, when he bombs the Iran dude, Hillary Clinton wouldn't have done that so publicly and brazenly with a drone. But they could have sent a CIA dude or anybody just to go take that guy out. Like, it's just governmental American policy that carries from administration to administration. So yeah, unless there's some radical change, and to me that's evident, I just kind of see them both as the same thing, because they're you might go left to go right, but eventually the other person is going to go left to go right. So, or right to go left, whichever way is the opposite. It's just different ways to go, to get to the same place. Like, nobody's trying to eliminate the economic advantage that America has in the world. It's just, it is what it is.
I want to, because again, I think you will be best pressed to answer this. So shout out to Real Deal for the super chat. Thank you, bro. Trump has done more for black people than Obama. Facts one-handed.
I'm not quite sure. I mean,
again, I can't speak of that of a person that doesn't live in America, but
yeah, I don't see any drastic difference. I mean, I could say Obama had a lot of after Bush and the 2000.
What did Obama do really? Okay, no, I'm just.
I'm thinking like after the, was it 2007 or the 2008 crisis, where like America was in a recession, people were losing their homes.
To help it, he turned that around, man.
The car people needed a bailout, the banks needed a bailout. There was all that whole I guess the end of Bush's tenure, which kind of led that yes we can Obama thing. Like, people were like, it's so bad, we'll give the black guy a chance. Like, that's how bad it was. So when I look at like they say you could do the most in your first few years of being president, because that's when the country's with you, the Congress is with you. So what they did is they gave the auto industry a bailout, they gave the banks a bailout, they did a bunch of stuff to just keep the economy afloat. I wonder if he came into a more manageable situation, if Obama would have done things specifically for black people. I doubt it, but maybe he would have, in the same way that he did things for Latino people or the LGBT people.
Like the House tried to basically blocked everything that he tried to do.
Yeah, that's just general American obstruction. Nobody's gonna let you just do what you want to do if they have the majority. So that's neither left nor right.
No. But because there's a narrative out there that says it's one of the most times in the history where a president has been fought at every turn by the House. So it's a thing of like, we ain't letting this black dude pass any of this.
Yeah, but it's flipped now. It's flipped now, where the House isn't letting Trump do what he wants to do. It's just like Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House, and they're always at odds. So it's just how American politics works. But I think one thing that struck me, and I guess this is what made me start. Well, do you remember when they lit the White House up in the rainbow colors?
Yeah.
After they legalized gay marriage. And I don't know, I guess that sparked a little bit more kind of political science knowledge into like, okay, why would Obama fight for that over fighting for black people? That question was like in my head, because I'm like, okay,
it's obvious. Wait. It's obvious. Connect the dots.
I know, but this is at the time, I don't know, maybe I was naive or I just wasn't thinking properly, but I'm just like, okay, black people just voted for Obama because he was black. They didn't I don't know. We didn't really expect anything from him other than just to be in that position. Whereas other people give him money and they're like, we're giving you this money to do X, Y, Z. Black people, our political consciousness is sometimes just, hey, as long as you're there, that's good enough. So Obama just existing was the win, not policy. So Trump, I mean, I think he's given money to HBCUs. I think he's done some other things, but yeah, I don't. Maybe if he's done more in 4 years than Obama in 8, that's a damning indictment if this guy's correct. But I would want to know exactly what Trump has done versus what Obama has done, and I can't. I don't have that Wikipedia page memorized in my head. So, okay,
I'm just here. That's what I want to hear from Real Deal. Who says that? Thank you for super chat. Real Deal says that you think the forefathers gave the right to the people. It's been 45 presidents in U.S. history. All knew that they would be presidents before the results were in. look,
It's
see,
quite,
this is my
that's quite
thing here.
pessimistic.
Oh, no, but it's look, that's why he's called the real deal, because it is real. Because see, I've only voted once, and that was because of how much I hated Boris Johnson. So I voted for the Green Party. So I thought, okay, look, man, let me just do this just so this clan doesn't become the important. It didn't happen. I said, okay, look, but if there's anyone I'm going to vote for, I'm going to vote for the most obscure party, which is the Green Party, who are
Well, see,
most
okay,
removed
but
from everything.
isn't that being politically ignorant though? Like, for me, I'm looking at it like I don't believe either one of you because I think Clinton was an evil. I think Biden is an evil. Trump is clearly an evil, right? So I'm like, I don't want to vote for any of you.
Mm-hmm.
So if me voting would just be to make me feel good, like I did something, and
It's,
you know,
it's one of those things of where, because basically even the whole discussion of voting is an interesting thing, because people will say that, like, for instance, I think this is the issue that it's the argument that Stephen A. Smith makes that why did Martin Luther King or the civil rights leaders, why did they fight so hard? One of the reasons they fought so hard was for the ability for a black man to vote.
I need
So
to get
exercise that right,
I
and
need
you
to get Stephen A. Smith in a room, and I need to tell him the reason they fought for the vote was so they could vote for black people to get into office. That's the reason. The reason they were struggling and marching across bridges and sit-ins and all that kind of stuff is so the black majorities in a Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, wherever, they would be the majority in those places. They would then vote in black politicians, and hopefully those black politicians would then go to Washington or the state legislature, and they would then enact policies that would help black people. What they didn't take into account was just because you put a black face in a high place doesn't necessarily equate that they're going to do what's in the best interest of black people. And I think the last 60 years has kind of explained that. White politicians don't even do what's in the best. White politicians don't even do what's in the best interest of the majority of white people. So it's no question. It's no. I think Trump probably hits the correct chord when he says Washington is a swamp. And the idea that you just go there and you do what's in the best interest primarily for yourself, and then the people are secondary or tertiary. No, so that whole people died for us to vote. People didn't die for us to vote between two white candidates. They died so we could vote for a black candidate who would then do things for black people.
Oh no! See, here's my thing here. Voting doesn't work. It's stupid because
it works. It's just who are you voting for?
Okay, wait. Let me land. I'll give you the thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Based on what, in conceptually, voting is an amazing thing. Mm-hmm. Like that is what we pride ourselves for as human beings, with the intelligence that we have, with regards to organization, and not falling into anarchy. Is the process of votes. Okay, this person has most votes, so this is who the majority of the people want to lead, rather than I have the biggest gun. I've got the most knives. I'm going to kill you, take a coup, and I'm going to take this by force.
The most knives.
So you see, my thing, I just want to just okay. What does it feel like to? Because I never voted, but say, what does it feel like to vote? Let me just go put in a vote. I know that's not going to mean anything. Let me just go and just do that just for what or whatsoever. But in reality, politicians and politics and all these people, they all fall into basically as that's Overton window thing rolled into. Everything is connected. Everything is connected. And you see, we are like in the 1%. And I'm sure most people here in this life were in the 1% that's like, we know. 99% of people don't know. 99% of people don't want to know. See, that's the key thing. It's called the two flex. It's called the H2 flex. The first flex is 99% of people don't know. 99% of people don't want to know. They're like, I'm a Democrat. I vote Democrats, and that's it. I have my 9 to 5, my job, everything. I vote Democrat, bro. I'm a Republican, bro, and that's the whole thing. So most guys don't want to know that your votes don't mean anything. This system is fully intact and rigid. Hillary and Trump were friends. These dudes were friends. Trump was like a Democrat, like what 7-8 years ago. Now he's now switched. So
Go pull up his Wikipedia page. It's quite funny actually.
okay,
If you pull up the Trump Wikipedia page and you look at the political parties that he's been, left, came back, went back to, the guy's a clear opportunist.
He's a businessman, man. Trump is a flipping business. The guy's a shyster. The guy is a modern day shyster.
Watch this.
I know this guy top down. The guy, look at this guy. He's a shyster. Look at him. He's a shyster.
Keep going, but keep going down though. Keep going down. Look at this. Okay. He's been an independent. Well, hold on. Okay. He was born a Democrat until 1987. Then he was a Republican until he switched, went Republican 99. Then he went to the Reform Party for 2 years. Then he went back to the Democrats. Then he became a Republican again. Then he stopped being a Republican, went to become an independent, and then he became a Republican again. So this guy switched parties once, twice, thrice. I don't know how you do 4, 5. He's switched like 7 times. So this guy's just he's an opportunist. He goes with whatever party he wants, you know.
Oh,
he's been a Democrat twice. He's been a Republican 3 times. He's been an independent and a Reform Party. So
and then
switched to Republican, then the Reform Party, then Democrat again, then Republican, then independent. Now back to Republican. So this tells you where he's at. He does what he does what he needs to do in order to get what he wants. And he did say, if I ever ran for president, I'd run as a Republican because they're easily, manipulated or controlled or easy to stir, I suppose. He's been in more political parties than his wife. He has more political parties than wives. He's been in 4 political parties. He only has 3 wives, and people say he's like a womanizer and this and that. That's interesting.
I mean, yeah, look. But just going back to Obama, though, because it's really well you tapped into, because a lot of, and which is just what I find.
I'm here for logic, by the way. I see logic. I said I'm here for logic, by the way. But
I have actually. That's why I've got my meal. I've got to know. Trust me. I'm gonna deal with logic. Trust me. Bloody retirement. Okay, but before that, Obama, because again, I didn't live in America, so I just viewed Obama from the outside in.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really there on the ground and so forth. But since his presidency has ended, it is alarming the amounts of African Americans that I see that say he failed, he did nothing, he was worse, he was a traitor, he did nothing for Black people. What a waste! All that thing about hope, hoping and everything. The campaign, it was all a fugazi. Obama, if you were to review his presidency specifically for African Americans who came out in numbers to support him, success, failure, bit of both.
Yeah, I put it like a bit of both. I don't think he was like an abject failure in that sense. Like, what I think it was is like, if somebody tells you this is going to be the greatest movie of all time, like you've never seen anything better than this. Taxi Driver ain't shit. Yeah, Taxi Driver ain't shit. The Godfather ain't shit. By the way, I watched 12 Angry Men today. Very good movie. The black and white one. Yeah, Apocalypse Now has nothing on this movie. And then you watch the movie and you're like, why would you sell it to me saying it was the greatest thing, or like an album? This is better than Illmatic. It's better than Reasonable Doubt. And you're like, okay, let's listen. And then you listen. It's like, okay, this is like medium standard. That's kind of what Obama was like. I feel like to Black people, they were like, okay, no, white people are finally gonna vote for a Black dude. Okay, like we have a guy that the majority of the country will vote for. Cool, we vote for him and he's gonna do stuff for us. That's not how politics works. Kind of going back to what I said a few minutes ago. Just because Obama's Black doesn't mean he's there to do things for Black people. As a matter of fact, if you see somebody Black in a high place, you have to question, why are they there to start with? Because this isn't a system created by Black people. So there must be some sort of motive that the people behind the system have. So
because you see, he came out of nowhere and beat the establishment, which was Hillary. So you're like, how did a black guy do that? Who came from nowhere?
low key, I think Obama messed it. He messed the lineup because it was after Bush should have been Hillary Clinton, and Obama might have been somebody they were looking like, oh, this could be a potential candidate in the future. But he jumped the line basically, which is why I think the Democratic Party was so keen on stopping the Bernie Sanders train in 2016 to make sure they rewrote the wrong or corrected the wrong that happened, in air quotes, in 2008 when Hillary Clinton got skipped over. They were like, Hillary, look, he beat you, but we'll give you another chance when his is over. And then they went about the system, and this is my own theory, they went about the business of trying to discredit Bernie Sanders and all the super delegates and things that happen in the Democratic Party, which are kind of shady. That being said, it's just a side little conspiracy theory. Just I think he jumped the line because he's not even 60 years old right now. Like I think he's in his 50s, so he's a young dude. So like this would be the ideal time, or 2016 would have been ideal for Obama to be like his first term. But he was just kind of that smooth talking, great speaker that everybody kind of attracted and was ready to go with. And like I said, Bush messed up the country so much they were. But it's that idea that if we get somebody black in, he's going to do something for us because he just has to, because he's black. But I think the history of America, or just the history of people, shows just because you look like this or you act like that doesn't necessarily mean something is going to happen for you. And I think black people were, I don't know, even I almost voted. I couldn't vote in 2008. If I could have, I would have. And I probably would have voted for Obama. I definitely would have voted for Obama, put it that way. But
so we'll take this and then we'll transition to the next topic. Yeah. Real good again. Thank you for the super chats. Research. Obama signed 276 executive orders, not one for black people. Did more for the LGBT community. Asked Biden, what's his black agenda? Never Obama.
Well, that's because Obama was just assumed that when he gets in, he will do it. Again, it goes to the political education.
So people really thought that he was going to completely change things for black people in the hood and change all that stuff.
Reason now, if you look at just the policies and the politics, I don't know if this stat is right, but let's say the real deal has the correct numbers, and he signed nearly 300 executive orders, and not one went to black people. That's a damning indictment. If you look at the idea that he dropped bombs on the African continent, despite
Mo disagrees. He says that he did
exactly. Like I'm not sure. Like that's why I said.
No, look, there's a very easy way to find just that, like do your Googles. Yeah, cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like if the numbers are correct, it's a damning indictment. The fact that the first black president still drops bombs on Africa like that, to me, that disqualifies you from a bunch of shit. Especially the fact that your father's from Kenya. I mean,
but
again,
relation with his mom though. So
my thing is, nobody can do good from that office necessarily, unless you're radical. But if you're radical, you'll probably be killed. So it's that tight line or tight wire you have to walk, or whatever those things are called. Once you become American president, you have to do what's in the best interest of America. And America, for all intent and purpose, is a corporation. It's here to make money and maintain the value of its currency, and that includes imperialism and all the things that come with it.
Is right though. Well, but he says researchers. He did sign 276 executive orders, but how many?
Bush has a lot. Clinton, wow.
Damn, 364. Hey, Trump is lagging, but he's trying to get up there.
No, but all of those guys had 8 years. That's Trump in 4. So if you double it, that's
if you double it, you're looking at least 300. Wait, let's see. African American. Actually, no. Sorry, I messed up. No, I was in Executive orders Obama. Progress of
Click it.
this.
Obviously, this is propaganda. It says Obama White House archives.gov.
Wait, is it this? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
click that.
All right, let's see what the real deal is.
Progress of the African American community during the Obama administration.
Key accomplishments: labor markets, income, and poverty. The employment rates for African Americans peaked at 16.8% in March 2010, after experiencing a larger percentage points increase from its pre-recession average to its peak, and the overall employment rates did. Since then, the African American unemployment rate has been a larger percentage points decline in the recovery,
but
falling much faster than the real employment over the last year.
But see, what I want is like specific things you did for. This is kind of like a rising tide lifts all boats kind of stuff. So the economy got better. There were more jobs. Black people did that. But Black people have a specific African Americans. Let me not just say Black people.
Yeah.
But they have a specific history here of slavery, Jim Crow, disenfranchisement, all that kind of stuff. So like support for HBUs is something that's specific for Black people. I guess the My Brother's Keeper initiative, that's one thing I thought of, but I'm not sure how effective that's been. Those are like specific things for Black people, not just, that we made the economy work better for all of America and Black people benefited from that. That's not specific enough. Like gay people they're able to be married now, or queer people, I should say. They're able to be married.
That's a big, because you see, the key thing that basically, because even when we're doing like a whole stay Black discussions, Obama should have done something of the magnitude of that whole thing with the gay marriage, of something, a particular ruling that greatly gives Black people access to education, especially in poor. That's the key thing: education. Because if you show that I've got a diploma to this, boom, that already gives you a leg up. So people will always look at your achievements, which is why my parents said, "Look, just go to UCL." Because once a job sees that you went to UCL, forget what you studied. If you just say UCL, boom, that already gives you a leg up in there, because that's just how the world works.
You went to the college at London? That's where you went?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Oh, I thought I told you.
No, I know you graduated and you studied psychology, right?
No. So my first year was the history and philosophy of science, and I then switched to science communication.
Oh, okay. So damn, you have a better degree than me. Based on
but bro, I told you,
based
that
on location
first year
anyway.
is the toughest year of my entire life. Horrible. I didn't understand what the hell was happening. Science communication was cool, but UCL, amazing university. Like I still go there, like the library to view events and everything. It's just that I went there when I was too young, so I didn't appreciate how amazing the institution was in terms of
I think about that now, man. Like if I could go to college now for like the first time again, it'd be really good. Like 30-ish, 20, like late 20s. Back
no. Because like two people in my year, so obviously we were like 18, 19, but two people in our year, one guy was 40, a French lady was in her 40s as well, and they were in our year. And you could tell if it's something that you really appreciate more if you're older. Yeah. But I was like, look, man, I'm done with school. School sucks.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but no, if that number is right, $4 billion a year for HBCUs is really good. But I think all presidents know like that's a cheap thing we can do to not cheap, but it's a very simple thing we can do. Just give HBCUs more money, and that's our Black thing.
I think, as you said, these are just very sweeping things. Specific let's say I'm going to create a specific educational program that allows poor Black people in poor neighborhoods to gain access to schools or particular pieces of education, something specific like that, then that's what helps.
You see, like just giving money to the HBCUs doesn't address the problems that arise before you even reach college age. So like if college, that level of college education. Like a lot of things happen before a child reaches 18 that you probably need to sort out in order so they can take advantage of that money that's being given to the HBCU. So that would mean, we need after school programs for all elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, etc. Better books, more teachers, more guidance counselors, more psychologists, just those kinds of things that would help, the teenagers before they reach college age. Those are probably more pressing programs. Putting that money into colleges, or even like things like, we're going to put more police on the streets. That's not going to stop stuff.
Okay, so last, because this is quite a big, because we really wants to look at this. So this is the list of his executive orders. It's a big list, but this is an easy way to do this.
Black, African. White House initiative on educational excellence for African Americans. Okay, it took him to 2012, but okay.
Blocking property of certain persons contributing to the conflicts of the Central African Republic. Okay, that's
like a civil war. Okay. So 2, and one is and one is like for Africa. Like
I think Will gets 2 points.
Oh no! Can you click the number? The 13,621. Like, does it give us more information on this? By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, to restore the country to its role as the global leader in education, to strengthen the nation by improving educational outcomes for African Americans of all ages, and to ensure, this is a run-on sentence, and to ensure that all African Americans receive an education that properly prepares them for college, productive careers, and satisfying lives. It is hereby ordered as follows. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, it must be something. Can we go down? Is there like a Cliff Note version of this?
Yeah.
look at the subsections, man.
Damn.
I mean, I'll go back and read this because I do kind of care about it. But
yeah, okay. I mean, yeah.
That's at least 20 minutes of breaking it down. So
really, he did do something, man. He did do little. But look, that's like one thing.
That's less than 1%.
I want to know specifically what was the lasting effects of this. What was the lasting effects of this executive order? That's what I want to know. Did it have a true lasting effect?
But it's this idea that if you do, because Obama didn't do things, he might have did one thing, but because he didn't do things specifically for Black people, at least nothing on the level of giving gay people the right to marry, or I think like the Dreamers Act and DACA and all those kinds of things, or he spent a lot of time doing the Obamacare and the Affordable Health Care Act.
I'll just wait because I think guys want to know. I'll just read the policy. I'll read the policy and then we'll then go on to our next. Let me just read the policy. Okay. All right. So over the course of America's history, African American men and women have strengthened our nation, including by leading reforms, overcoming obstacles, and breaking down barriers. In the less than 60 years since the Brown v. Board of Education decision puts America on a path toward equal educational opportunity, America's educational system has undergone a remarkable transformation, and many African American children who attended the substandard segregated schools of the 1950s, have grown up to see their children attend integrated elementary and secondary schools, colleges, and universities.
Pause it there. Those schools were substandard in terms of like the books. They were not necessarily substandard in terms of the education given, because people suspect the reason that they allowed the schools to be integrated is because Black people, despite having substandard situations, were still outperforming their white counterparts on the same economic level. So they were like, you know what? If we let these Black people keep going the way they're going, they're going to outshine our poor whites, our middle-class whites. So we need to include them somehow in the educational system and then destroy them from there. That's like a conspiracy theory. But,
So, however, substantial obstacles to equal educational opportunities still remain in America's educational system. African Americans lack equal access to highly effective teachers and principals, safe schools, and challenging college preparatory classes, and they disproportionately experience school discipline and referrals to special education. African
Umar
American
Johnson.
students,
That's Umar.
African American
Special ed.
students' achievements not only lags behind that of their domestic peers by an average of 2 grade levels, but also behind students in almost every other developed nation. Over a third, I'm not just do a mental note, but I'll probably remember it after because we want to move on. But over a third of African American students do not graduate from high school on time with a regular high school diploma, and only 4% of African American high school graduates interested in college are college ready across a range of subjects. An even greater number of African American males do not graduate with a regular high school diploma, and African American males also experience disparate rates of incarceration. Significantly improving the educational outcomes of African Americans will provide substantial benefits for our country by, among other things, increasing college completion rates and productivity, employment rates, and the number of African American teachers. Enhanced educational outcomes lead to more productive careers, improved economic opportunity, and greater social well being for all Americans. Complementing the role of historically Black HBCUs is in preparing generations of African American students for successful careers, and the work of my administration separates White House initiative on HBCUs. This new initiative focuses on improving all the sequential levels of education, will produce a more effective educational continuum for all African American students. To reach the ambitious education goals, we have to set our nation as well as to ensure equality of access and opportunity for all. We must provide the support that will enable African American students to improve their level of educational achievement through rigorous and well-rounded academic and support services that will prepare them for college, a career, and lifetime of learning. Now, has that had a lasting effect?
I'm not sure.
So look, let's move on. So for this maybe last half hour or last hour or so, logic. Logic.
LOGIC. He says it in every rap, man. It's the LOGIC.
Okay.
We got it. You can spell, man.
First thing is this. You don't retire from rap.
Okay.
Rap isn't football. Rap isn't basketball. If Aretha Franklin was singing all the way till her death, she may not be doing it.
I don't agree with you, but finish.
Oh, you can, because it's music. Now you can do it a lot less and so forth, but it doesn't make sense to retire from music. Stevie Wonder, what's it called? Dude was in Hyde Park, like what's it called? Like I think last year, like a few years ago. So the notion of you first of all retiring from rap and announcing retiring from rap makes no sense. When Jay-Z said I'm retiring from rap, I laughed. I was like, this guy's gonna come back. Lo and behold, he's come back. And even after he's done 444, where 444 would be a perfect swan song, he's not mentioned anything of retiring because we now saw him on Jay Electronica's album. So
he did a joint album with Beyonce as well.
And also Joe Biden's retirement thing, it's a ploy because he is trying to get people to bring in attention of his media career. Trust me, he'll be back soon as well. So that's the first thing. Now, the other thing is for Logic himself is I listened to the album. You know, I've posted like a little mini review on the website.com. What?
Is it good?
Here's the thing. Sonically, technically, it's good. But it's not something I would listen to again.
Yeah.
And this has always been my thing with Logic, because it's like, now let's just say that okay, you've now finished your career and so forth. All you can say for Logic is, yeah, this guy is really good at rapping. But what were you saying? Did you really offer anything insightful? Did you really offer anything deep? That's the first thing. The other thing is his reasons. He said that I am retiring from rap because I want to focus on being a father. and I want to dedicate my time to being a father.
Mhm.
Oh, also as well, Twitch has given me the biggest ever offer they've ever given an individual to come into their platform exclusively. So my thing is, how do you retire from rap? Or you feel the need to retire from rap in order to focus on being a father? That makes no sense. Because my thing is this: do you have to be a father 24/7, full time? Because there are Jay-Z made Reasonable Doubt before he had any kids. Before even meeting Beyonce was a concept, he made Reasonable Doubt. And he made 444 with, I believe, what, two kids now?
3?
Both of those albums. Oh, is it 3 or 2?
I thought he had twins, but I might be wrong.
Okay, yeah. So kids. So
Multiple children.
that he's had. And even the thing as well is this: is that, look, I don't want to be like, mock anyone or anything. I'm not like that. But I couldn't watch. First of all, I don't really like watching people cry because, I mean, especially men now. But for Logic, so he said he was thanking Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole for, and he was crying as he was thanking them. I was like, what's going on? I'm confused. Like, what the hell is going on? So my thing with Logic is this: is that now I think Joe Budden goes a little bit too harsh in the way he attacks him, but he did say something very interesting on his podcast today, which is like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Is that when I listen to Logic, it doesn't seem genuine. I'm like, this guy is good at putting words together, rhyming words. His cadence is good. He's in the pockets very well. His flow is on point. Technically, is on point. But rap is more than just a mathematical equation. Rap is a musical art form. Keyword being art form. Again, the best example I use is Scarface. Scarface isn't the most complicated rapper that's rap really fast and everything, but you feel every single word he's saying. You feel every single word he's saying. And
DMX.
I mean, especially watching that.
Exactly. Like DMX is the perfect example of that.
DMX,
even more so than like a Tupac. He's
easily,
like
100%. Like, you see, watching that versus, because you know what I did? Because I know Snoop Dogg's discography so well. When the playlist came out on Tidal, I said, oh, damn, man, this guy is a damn good rapper. A very unique rapper. A very unique rapper as well.
He's a preacher.
So yeah, so you see, so my thing is that with Logic, because again, you saw all these people said, "Oh, thank you, Logic, you're so great," blah blah. Now, wait, let's just be clear here, because I want to be fully clear here. So, Logic discography. When did this guy start?
2010, 2011.
So his first album was
No. You need to go into the discography, and you need to look at the mixtapes, because as I was telling you yesterday, these mixtapes, and this is, I'll admit, I was a fan. Like the what was his first one? Young, Broken, Infamous, or something like that. I had to go back and listen to Young, Broken, Infamous. I had to go back and listen to that one. But my first exposure to him was the Young Sinatra mixtape that was from 2011. Now this is peak blog era. So if you click on Young Sinatra, if you click on it, you give it to me, like this, exactly, it had more than 750, 750,000 downloads off that PIF only. That doesn't include other websites. So it was probably downloaded over 2 million times, probably. He got in the game because he would rap over, at least for me, I became a fan because it was like he would rap over boom bap beats. So he would rap over the Lord Infamouses, the Pete Rocks, the Large Professors, the DJ Premiers, like those kinds of beats that you got to think, if you're college age around 2010, 2011, you're probably like, 21, 22, 23. And you're, I don't know, just kind of going back and listening to old stuff like Illmatic and things like that, like that's probably the first time you've been exposed to like the Illmatics and Reasonable Doubts, because you're going back and you're doing your hip hop education at that point when you're like in your early 20s, especially when the internet comes out and you can just, you know, bear, share, LimeWire, any album you want. So so when you hear rappers like Mac Miller did this, if you go back and listen to the Kids mixtape and Nike's on My Feet, or there's another one that's really a hip. I think Lord Infamous even sued him for it, but it's kind of that same version of things where it's like kids around, I don't know, I think Logic's my age, so he was like 20, 21. He was just rapping over beats that appealed to people who were like just hip hop heads, and he created mixtapes around that. So from 2011, 2012, 2013, before he releases his first album, and I'd say his first album, it's a solid project. He was playing into the kind of blogosphere, digging in the crate kind of fan, and that's how he got on. After his first album, I would say, maybe even the second album after that, like the sounds have totally changed, and he doesn't necessarily appeal. But when you hear somebody like him rap over a boom bap beat, I mean, like, you can't deny that it sounds good. I mean, you just can't, because his flow, and obviously those beats connect with you in a different way. So if you go back and can you give me the track listing? I forgot it, but I can give you like an example. Oh no, scroll up. Actually, that would be even better. Okay, never mind. I was hoping like the producers, like Stewie Griffin. Have you ever heard Stewie Griffin?
Mm-mm.
Play Stewie Griffin.
Oh no! I don't want to get.
Oh, you can't. Like Stewie Griffin is like, it's just dope. It's just dope. And if you listen to that, you'll understand how somebody who's 2021, who's listening to Nas or Jay-Z or just going back and doing their education.
Oh, right, to Devon.
Yeah, but I encourage everybody go listen to Stewie Griffin. It's just dope. Or like I think Growing Pains, or I think one of those is over like a Jay-Z Can I Live type of beat. Like these mixtapes appealed to people in that just kind of in that way. I can't even explain it. But then once you get into the albums, I think he gets signed, and when you know when people get signed, they go kind of commercial and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, Stewie Griffin, hella dope, man. Hella dope. So yeah, those first 4 mixtapes, I would say. But then he releases his first album, which is Under Pressure, and it just kind of goes from there.
Yeah. So look, I mean, so what is your take on this whole?
Oh, the retirement.
Because I think it's stupid.
I think okay, no. It's not stupid. I think you can retire from being a rapper. I don't think you can retire from rap. So Logic will probably always be writing bars. When you're that gifted in terms of like putting words together, there's no way you're not gonna. So he'll probably always be writing. Like you don't think Joe Budden still might have like a?
Oh no, of course no. He keeps saying that, yeah, like, you know, he does, you know, he still
course, like
of course he does.
Like 50 hasn't released something in a minute. I'm pretty sure he still comes up with little clever bars here and there. So you never retire from rap, but the duties of being a hip hop artist, a rapper, you can retire from those. So I think that's maybe what he wants to do. Like, you just let me know that he got to deal with Twitch.
But my thing though is this: don't say anything then. Why? Okay, for me, those two aren't mutually exclusive. A rapper and rapping, because again, Stevie Wonder may say, or even the Rolling Stones, perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
They may say that, okay, we aren't actively making albums and trying to really be in the consciousness and so forth. But right now, you know, if we feel inspired, we may do, or we do doing stuff, or even like these my guys that I like. I'm Stone Temple Pilots. This grunge band. Yeah, they'll release an album whenever they want to. So they're not as active as they were when they were in their 20s. They're now in their 40s and their 50s now. So, but the thing is, don't say anything. Just Do you? And then whenever you release, you release because
You have to think about his fans though, because his fans are probably like you know how Rihanna you know how Rihanna hasn't released an album in like I don't know 4 or 5 years. I don't keep up to date with Rihanna like that, but it's all this thing of like, yo, Rihanna, where's the album? Where's the album? Or Adele, like, where's the album? Where's the album?
Break. Okay, why can't
if they came out and said I'm retired, then they wouldn't get those responses under like every tweet or Instagram post. You know what I mean? So maybe that's logic. He's like, look, I know I'm not going to be releasing an album for the next 5 years while I focus on other ventures that I have going. So let me just tell the people I'm retired, and then when I come back, which I probably will, it'll be an even bigger hado. Like, yo, Logic's returned. He's out of retirement, and then he can do like album covers with Jordan with the 45 jersey and all that kind of stuff.
But see, can you now see why I think this is completely and utter bullcrap? Because that's what he's gonna do.
It's just marketing.
He returned. He's back. Yeah, man, I'm back at retirement. You know, I've come out of retirement.
No, but I actually think he thinks he won't come back. Like,
give me a break.
I think when Jordan, I am not
real. Do you really think that he is fully?
I am not. I will never equate Logic to Michael Jordan. I'm just using the circumstances because I think they apply. Okay, this is not a one-to-one. Logic is not the Michael Jordan of rap. Let me say that now. When Michael Jordan retired in 1993, I genuinely think he thought he would never come back to play basketball again.
Because he won 3 rings. What are the 3 rings that Logic has won?
I just told you that Michael Jordan is not the Logic of basketball. I just told you. Or
I know. I'm
Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan retired in 1998, I can guarantee you he thought he would never return, and then he showed up with the Wizards again. So I think people can make decisions that seem permanent, and they want that to be the decision, and they can't see the future. So I genuinely believe that Logic thinks he will never come back, but he will come back. We just know he will.
Do you know what? Do you know why that doesn't make sense? I'll tell you why it doesn't make sense.
Why doesn't it make sense?
Because you can't equate sports and
No. I'm using that as an example. Like when Jay-Z retired, I guarantee you he thought I'm done. Like I gave you the Black Album. It had December 4th. It had all those songs that seem like, no, this is like the end of my career. I'm never coming back. But then at 2-3 years later, he was probably like, you know what? Like I got all these bars. I can't turn my brain off from doing what I'm born to do. So, hey, let me give you Kingdom Come. Like when people make these decisions, I genuinely believe that they think this is the thing.
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that it doesn't make sense. Even if they genuinely believe it and they believe it's true, I'm still saying, I know you believe.
How many times have you threatened to stop doing the football hut? How many times have you said I'm going to retire from doing the football hut? At least 2 times I'm aware of. You're like, I'm going to quit. But you just can't. You might want to. You might genuinely think I'm done doing the football hut, but you're not.
No. But I'll give you the reasons why. Because the reason why I had to was because of stuff that I was going through in my life, finances, and also the thing about this is this: football huts requires particular dedication because I'm almost like a journalist, like a news person. I have to react to stuff that is happening instantly. As a rapper, especially as the top tier rapper at Def Jam, you are not fully tied down or required to deliver an album on time. And if they do, Logic is big enough to say, okay, take your 2-3 albums. I'm out of my contract. I'm not going to go independent, but I can do whatever I want to do. So a sports person or someone like, let's say, a youth player in my field, you are at the behest of a schedule, a program, and a timetable that you have to be to. So you have to actually be part of a particular schedule. It is different from being a musical artist. Because as a musical artist, you have the freedom, especially, and you see, I will only agree if, let's say, you are under a certain contract. And do you know what happens in that contract? It's what Chris Brown did. Oh, I need 2 more albums so that I'm out of this contract. Okay, I'm going to give you like a double album. I'm out. Simple. So you can't use that as an excuse. So the reason why it doesn't make sense, you announcing retirement for you as a rapper, is because it's rap. It's music. You can go away and not do it for like a year, 2 years. As a basketball player, you can't not
wait a minute
play basketball for a year. You have to because there's a timetable and a schedule.
Are there things that you're good at that you don't like to do?
No, I don't. No.
So put it this way: for me, I've been told I'm good at writing, right?
Mhm.
I don't like it. Like I actually do not like it. Like the process of sitting in front of my computer and typing up the thoughts that are in my head, because of the way that I do my writing, I try to be very particular in the words that I use, and it's stressful actually to like make sure everything is the way that I want it, and it gives me a bit of trepidation whenever I try to publish something. So I've been told I'm good at it, but I don't necessarily like doing it. So if somebody gave me the opportunity, like, hey, you've done this, you've done that, we're going to give you a new opportunity, make a podcast, do whatever you want to do, I'd probably rather do that than sit down and do writing, even though I'm probably better at writing than doing anything else. So I say that to say Logic might actually not like the process of being a rapper as much as his talent might suggest that he's good at it. And I think that's probably where he's at. He's probably in a place in his life where he's like, I don't need to put myself through the stress and rigors of going on touring, of making an album, of producing, of overseeing things. Like, why do I need to do that when I could just sit at home?
Then don't bro, then you see, cool. Don't say you're retired.
But then his fans will then ask, where's the album?
Oh, screw those losers, man.
But what if you actually care about the people, then you're going to be like, guys, look, I'm retired.
Okay, then very simply just say that I'm taking a break. I'm taking an indefinite break. It's just to say that I have retired from rapping. I am no more rapping. I will never pick up a pen to write a rhyme. Man, no. I'm taking a break. And I just need some time to not have to think about rap.
That's what I would do. That's
what
I would do. I'd be like, look, guys, I'm taking a break. I think 3, 4, 5 years, you won't hear any music from me. I think J. Cole's even doing something similar, where he's like, I think the Come Up might be my last album. But I don't know if he's come out and said I'm retiring. But J. Cole's another one. If J. Cole came out and said I'm retiring from rap, I can tell, like, he doesn't want to be a rapper.
Wait. We're gonna get to J. Cole before we get to some questions. I want to get to it because I know that's your age. Do you know what the sick thing is?
I only listened to the song once. I've only listened to both songs once.
Yeah, oh my gosh, you're so predictable. You are so predictable, man.
I want to listen to the album in context.
Youngsville via Bottom Central. Listen to the damn track again, bro. Wait, so your boy Foodie Wizard says, yes, Logic is my favorite rapper. Oh, cool. All the Growing Pains and Young Sinatras are dope. Logic is a very good rapper. And I say to Logic, if you're listening,
where does he fall on the Eminem spectrum for you? Finish your thought, but think about that question. In terms of good rappers, but you don't enjoy him.
Wait. Say again. How does he fall under the Eminem spectrum? How do you mean?
Okay, so the Eminem spectrum for me is you're really good at putting words together, but I don't necessarily enjoy what you say or how you say it. So it's evident that the skill of putting words together, you have it. But do you enjoy their music? That's a totally different thing. So like Hopsin, great at putting words together. I don't enjoy his music. Eminem, great at putting words together. I don't enjoy his music. Cannabis, great at putting words together. I don't enjoy your music. Logic isn't quite in that territory. Like, he's great at putting words together. And I don't love the music that he's making now. But it's not to that level of like Eminem, Hopsin, Cannabis, etc.
No. I think no.
Like, he makes better music. He's a better artist.
Yeah, for sure. I think musically he's better than Eminem. Like, Eminem musically is just like like this guy's like
Eminem is somebody who needs to stop making their own beats. By the way, we said that about J. Cole. That's so bad.
If I was saying to him and say, bro, just stop. Like, just stop. It's like it really feels as if someone needs to just say, it's like he's showing his age. It's like a desperate attempt. See, Eminem retiring, that makes sense. If it's so stupid, it makes sense because for Eminem, I can definitely say that, okay, you need to stop. You either need to stop or you need to take a very long break and just totally reset. Because Eminem is in a space where I have to see how many words I can put in a bar. I've got to see how fast I've got to rap. I've got to be... I'm like, bro, relax. Chill. This is music. We're here to have fun. This is not a mathematical equation. It's not a mathematical equation. It's music.
I asked because you said the same thing to describe Logic in terms of it's not a mathematical equation. So I'm wondering, where does he fall on that kind of? Yes, you're good at rapping, but do I enjoy your music?
Oh, no. You see, I sonically, I enjoy Logic a lot more than Eminem, 100% for sure. Because I think for Logic, he still makes music that he's intended for it to sound good. Even his rapping, he's still trying to make it feel musical and on point and within rhythm.
Right.
Eminem doesn't give a damn about the beats. He's just focused on his words and how complicated he can make the words and how skillful he can rap. He does not care about the beats or making something that is sonically pleasing to the ear. So yeah, for sure, like Logic is definitely a lot more.
Okay.
Did
you forget your point? Because I know I interrupted you. But
okay. So I wanted to.
You were gonna say something to Logic, I think.
What else was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Sorry. For Logic, this is my lesson. So Logic is, bro, you are good at what you do, and my thing is, you see, rap is reflective. And rap is one of a unique art forms where you have a closer connection to the person's character and who the person are, as opposed to anything else. So your best material will be after you've had a child, would be during this period in time. So maybe after a year or two, doing Twitch, being a father, you'll be like, you're now rapping as being a father, which is very different. Because how many raps do we hear about rappers referencing to their son, referencing to their daughter, living lines for their son, their daughter? It is because you can definitely see maturity in people's raps, especially in Jay-Z, because the Jay-Z rapping in 444 talking about legacy and leaving a legacy for his family is very different from the guy that was rapping in Reasonable Doubt about how cool, how suave I am. So if ever there was a time for you to be rapping, it's now that you've been a father and you're now transitioning into a whole time in your life. This is like the worst time to stop, when you've sort of entered a different period, because that is
maybe
your
not though.
material truly is when you mature. Because people can say that what Jay-Z did in 444 is arguably one of his best work. Like Scarface's last album, I think is it Deeply Rooted? Probably one of his best albums. So as you grow and you get older,
Logic is 30, man. Logic is 30. Like, there's no way in his 30s he's not going to release another album. He'll be back. But in his mind right now, I think he just needs that comfort that I'm retired. Nobody's going to be asking me when the deadline is, when the album's coming out. This is it. Like, it's like his first album was called Under Pressure. This album is called No Pressure. So that's him saying, I'm done, essentially. But we both know that as somebody who's a rapper born to rap, as Logic seems he was, he'll be back. But he thinks that I won't be back. And we can tell him as much as we want, nigga, you bullshitting. Or maybe we can't call him that because it's weird. But you'll be back. So you should just say I'm taking a break. But to him, he's like, no, I'm not gonna come back again.
I don't dislike Eminem. I despise Eminem fans. I loathe them. They make me sick. I don't dislike Eminem. I just don't like his music. Eminem, the guy, very respectful of rap, amusing dude and so forth. I have nothing against Eminem. I hate his fans, and I just don't like his music. And I've never, like, basically, I was listening to, and also it's not a race thing. I was listening to the Milkbone again today, and I just like how he raps, and I just like how he sounds, and I just like the kind of aura and mood that he brings to his music. It feels more to, I feel connected more to when the Milkbone raps as opposed to when Eminem raps. So it's not a race thing.
Who gave me the N-word pass? My dad, motherfucker. What the fuck you talking about? Somebody said, "Wait, who gave you the N-word pass, Daniel?" My dad, and my grandfather, and my great grandfather.
Wait, who said that?
It's just a comment.
Oh,
well, no, I paused because I was like, maybe I shouldn't call Logic that, because he looks white, but we know he's mixed race. So
Yeah, but I think because his dad is like half white or something. So M is a weird case. You look at some of his producing credits, and he has a lot of quality. But recently, he doesn't seem to be able to find the right sound. I just think that he's just lost his touch. I just think the guy has lost his touch. Wait, before I forget, J. Cole.
oh boy,
Let me ask you this. I listened to, because I couldn't find it on Tidal, so I listened to both of the mixtapes on YouTube.
Okay.
Cool. He doesn't have a classic album.
Those are albums.
And this is maybe what I'll ask for you guys in there. I feel he's got one very good album. This was the first Hill Drive, one very good album.
Wait, have hope.
You see, those mixtapes, it's really good rapping.
No, but imagine if you took the best songs from the warm-up and the best songs from Friday Night Lights and the best songs from Sideline, or Cold World, a Sideline Story.
Now it's cheating. Now you're
no, because most like Nas had that advantage. He did one feature at Live at the Barbecue. People just expected his next album was going to be the greatest thing we've ever heard. All the producers knew this is going to be the next best rapper that we've ever heard. They created the best beats for him, and he created arguably the best hip hop project ever. Jay-Z was rich enough to where he could just buy the best beats that were available at the time. He made Reasonable Doubt. It didn't do great commercially, but after time, people realized that. So the old form of rap was all your best work that you've created up until your debut album gets released on that album, pretty much. But in the blog era, you had to give people so much free good music in order to get people's attention to you. So J. Cole was competing against Jesus Christ. He was competing against Drake, Wale, Big Crit, Kid Cudi, Mac Miller, even people you probably never heard of, like Charles Hamilton or Mickey Fax. Just like if you go back and you look at like the double XL freshman.
That's a Big Crit song, Mixed Messages. That's a great track, man.
Yeah. But all of those guys were competing in the same space at the same time for people's attention. And you had people who were like my age, 20, 21, 22. I'm not paying for music. So you put all your best songs in a mixtape form. You put it on the blogs, and hopefully people gravitate to that music. But if they were born 10 years earlier, all of those songs would be on their debut albums and the best songs of those. So J. Cole even held off songs that he created in God knows when he was at St. John's or whatever, and they put them on, and he held them for so long. He didn't put them on mixtapes. He held them for his debut album, which was Cold World, the Sideline Story. So what I'm telling you is all of that music, if you took the 15 best songs and then you released it in 2011 or whenever his debut album came out, or maybe 2012, 2013, that would have been his debut. And people would have been like, Cole has a classic. If you take the best songs from Crit Was Here and Forever and a Day and King Remember in Time, if you take all the music from those mixtapes, you'd create classic projects. But my
thing is,
they just had to come up in a different time.
But my thing is,
and they were already famous by the times their official albums came out.
There isn't a body of work released as one that they can say this is a classic. So forget about mixing.
Nobody from this era has one except Kendrick.
What is it?
Nobody from this era has a classic album except Kendrick.
Yeah.
And Kendrick has multiple, which is bad comparatively. Kendrick has two.
Kendrick, because even listening to that, because again, I had never listened to Section 80 all this time.
Did you listen to it?
What?
Did you listen to it?
Yeah, like I did, and I was like, well, this is good.
I know, and it was an album / free mixtape.
But J. Cole doesn't have a classic album.
He has, like I said, there are rappers with classic albums and there are rappers with classic mixtapes. J. Cole has a classic mixtape or two. You might argue the warm-up's classic. You could say Friday Night Lights is classic. Like Drake doesn't have a classic album, but he does have a classic mixtape in So Far Gone.
Where we can maybe champion podcast in that. I'm an album merchant. So for me, I want an official piece of work where, okay, this isn't like, okay, mixtape. No, original beats, original sound,
Most of those mixtapes had had original
vibe,
beats.
a story being told, a body of work officially. Boom, here is my official piece of work album.
Just going platinum with no features doesn't mean you've created a classic project. It means you have a great marketing strategy. So I don't want to hear 2014 and Forest Hills Drive was platinum with no features, therefore it's classic. That ventures into Eminem sold how many copies? That means he's the greatest or something like that. Like
yeah. It's no. It's, you can't use that. Like that's not like that's just an impressive feat. Okay, when
it's amazing.
Cool. It's an impressive feat. It doesn't mean that it's a classic. It doesn't. So 2014 isn't Good Kid, Mad City.
Val's tripping, bro.
It's not.
Val's tripping, man. He said Drake's son has a classic baby reveal.
Okay, but one thing, because I remember you saying that.
Oh man.
And Drake, man, why do you have to keep on singing, man? Just
J. Cole, man. Oh no, both actually.
I remember you said, man, why, man, just stop your no singing ass, just shut your no singing ass up. And I feel like that. But my thing is, okay, where do you stand on this? Because I didn't know that Big Crit was a producer and rapper, and even if there's a lot of songs, I told you, like, whenever I put a song onto my playlist. That means you've done well, because everything on my playlist are songs that I just go on repeat. So I think I put it's Mixed Messages and
I got a whole lot of them.
I can't remember the other one that I put on. What was it again? Wait, what's the name of that album that had Mixed Messages on? What was the name of the album?
Good question. I can see the album art.
It mixed it with him with his gold teeth, and Forever is a Mighty Long Time.
Forever is a Mighty Long Time. Yeah, because it was a double disc.
Yeah, because there was another one. Okay, Aux Chord.
Okay.
Yes, those two for me. I want to say, like, great production, great rapping. And I would say, like,
Aux Chord was DJ Khalil. I know that one for sure.
Okay,
I'm not sure who produced Mixed Messages. It might have been Crit, but
I think my theory is right. Mixed Messages was produced by Super Mario.
Okay.
Aha. So obviously, like, he's produced a lot of the ones, but the two tracks I like the most. So yes, my theory reigns.
Wait a minute. No. I was gonna agree with your theory, because Crit, if you look at the original mixtapes, so Crit was here with the WUZ. Crit was here. I'm pretty sure like every track was produced by Big Crit. And he's another one that's had a lot of trouble letting go of the creative control of his projects. So if we go and we look at Big Crit's mixtapes, so give me discography and click the first one. It says main articles, Big Crit discography. Give me that one, and it'll give us the mixtapes.
This one?
Yeah. It'll give us the mixtapes for sure. So yeah, Crit was here, 2010. Now this is when I became aware of him, and I'm pretty sure all of the production. Go. Can you go to the top? Does it give us like all songs written and composed by Big Crit? So he did everything, and it sounds good. But then once you get into the third, fourth, fifth, seventh mixtape, it's like, okay, like Crit, we know you have a sound, but maybe it would be better if you, I don't know, instead of bench pressing 400 pounds, just do 200, and the music will be better for it. So him, J. Cole, those are really the main two I can think of that do like the really heavy lifting in terms of rapping and producing. And I think they're finally starting. J. Cole's a little bit more, I guess, picky. But Crit's finally started to just let go a bit and just, I'm going to focus on the thing I know I do best, which is rap. He's a way better producer than J. Cole, by the way. So he's a far better producer.
Okay, so see, here's my thing.
It's hard to do two things at once.
But here's my
Even
right.
these are all Kanye's babies, by the way.
No,
That
but
rapper
look,
producer.
here's my theory. See, it works for Kanye West because Kanye West is a much better producer than he is as a rapper, and I do feel that.
And Kanye's a Q-tip baby, so maybe it's his fault.
So basically, so for Kanye, because his rapping is pretty basic, it's not that complex. He can put the focus on the production, but I don't think the inverse works. So if you let's say you're a really good rapper and a very particularly more complex rapper, that's a J. Cole or a Big Critis, I think it detracts from your rapping and the focus of your rapping if you have to also produce as well, because those are
what happens for me anyway, and that might be right to you, but how I hear the music is if you do the rapping, your voice never changes. So your voice is your voice. Maybe you can do modulators like Kendrick or whatever the case, but your voice is your voice. So that's staying the same. Now, on top of that, if you do the production as well, you have a sound. You are you. So what Kanye did great was like the chipmunk soul, or like J. Cole probably has like a drum package that he's comfortable with, or particular samples that he just likes and that appeal to him. You do that 16 times and the problem becomes monotony. It's like you
and that was my issue with KOD. Because
definitely
very samey.
Definitely. And that was kind of the problem I think that happened with Big Crit. It's just, and then if you're J. Cole, especially, so no features, so there's no other voice to break it up, and then there's no other producer to help break up the production. It's just like, that's why people say he's boring and he's monotone and nothing changes. It's because he gets stuck inside of his own bubble.
And honestly, here's the thing as well. You rap based off the beats, because the beat informs the rapping. If you listen to J. Cole on Bubbler Boats with Royster 59, or you listen to him on American History with Jeezy, that's some of the best rapping that he did all that year.
If you listen to his, I first remember hearing J. Cole on the Blueprint 3 album, something Star. What's it called?
He was on Blueprints 3?
Yeah. Can we what's that? A Star Is Born. Okay. It was Jay-Z and J. Cole. And I'm not sure who produced the beat, but it was like, that was incredible. Like, his verse on that track was incredible. And it was like, if you can get him on beats like this, it will work. But it's just what you have to think about is these guys were releasing independent mixtapes in order to get on. It's not like they could go to the hottest No ID, give me a Kanye West beat, give me a No ID beat, give me a DJ Khalil beat, give me a Q-Tip beat. These guys were just in their dorm rooms or in their mama's house or wherever they were, and they had their beat machine, their MacBook, and they were just making beats for themselves and making music that people gravitated towards.
And you know what
they're just stuck in that mode where I've had control my whole career. Why would I give it up if I'm here? If I'm where I am?
You know what the biggest issue is? Is they're insulated, almost similar to the Eminem thing, which is that J. Cole has very passionate fans,
loyal, yes,
extremely loyal, and they're like, no, we like what you're doing, and we will always support what you're doing. And look, we are human beings. We like to be loved. We like people who will always support us, and we like to always feel that good thing. So it will take someone that he trusts to say, yo, J. Cole, man, you can make a true masterpiece of an album if you just get DJ Premier, No ID, Q-Tip, can't just get a whole host of producers.
Not 2020 Kanye.
just like what's it called? Get Call Neptunes, Call Sweet. Just get a whole bunch of dudes similar to what now did in Illmatic.
Or have hope.
Just get one really good virtuoso producer. So you just focus on raps, and this producer will bring out things in you that you just can't bring us if you're doing the beats.
Wait.
See, I super amateur producer. But you can make the beats. But even when I'm doing beats, there is a particular pocket you go to.
Mhm.
There's a pattern that it is very hard for you to just create something totally different because there's just something that's like because
You have your own individual vibe.
I like this. Like, there's always going to be a drum sequencing that I'm always going to go to, and there's always going to be a variation of a particular kind of drum pocket that you're always going to go to because that's just how your brain works if you're making something musically. Mm-hmm. So, if for J. Cole, there's a particular pocket for 10, 12 songs, it will sound samey. But if you now bring in a professional producer who has the talent and the palette to be a much more virtuoso, or you have, let's say, 3 producers. Mm-hmm. One guy does 3, one guy does 3, another guy does 4. You will have a much more varied piece of work because you have different things coming into it.
Think about 444. That's all produced by the same guy. It's all No ID. But because he's such an incredible producer, it doesn't really have that kind of samey style to it. And I guess Jay-Z's just a better rapper than J. Cole, so maybe it's not fair to compare him to him. But like, if you get just all you need is one. You just need one guy and him. It would work. You got to give J. Cole like Madlib or just somebody from left field who will just give him some interesting beats. Obviously, J. Cole has to appeal to a wider audience, so he's not going to go totally underground. But if you gave him No ID or just somebody of that ilk, it would be a far better album, I think. And if you actually gave this guy actual singers to where he wouldn't like give his most famous song, I think is what's the Miguel one? Can you look that up? J. Cole and Miguel, where it was Miguel on the hook. And he produced the song, to be fair, but he wasn't singing the hook. And I think he even said, I was singing the hook and then
on chill.
Say again?
Come Through and Chill?
No. Somebody help me out in the stream. What's that famous?
Oh, Power Trip.
Power Trip. He was singing the hook. And then somebody, I don't know, maybe he just listened to it and was like, you know what? Let's get an actual fucking singer on here to where it doesn't sound all the same. He put Miguel on it, and I think it's his best-selling hit or one of his top 5. At least before like the streaming era hit. So for me, it's you can't do the singing, the rapping, and the beat making and expect that you're going to give me a classic unless this album takes 6-7 years to create, and each year you're in a different pocket and you create songs that are somehow connected but different.
That's what I wanted to ask you. That's what I wanted to ask. That is he capable of making a classic album working the way that he does?
No, I don't think so. And all he would have to do is look at Kendrick. What does Kendrick do? Kendrick focuses on the raps and Kendrick focuses on the concept. And he's a genius in terms of coming up with the concept, and his rapping is his rapping.
Genius. No, you see, this is what I'll say, and I will reaffirm it. I still say that J. Cole is a better rapper than Kendrick. Kendrick is a better artist. Just for me, in terms of just the rapping, the flow, and what it sounds like.
It's your opinion, so I won't argue with you.
Again, that's my opinion. J. Cole just sonically sounds more pleasing and better to me. He just flows.
Yeah.
Kendrick, because Kendrick can sometimes be a bit too.
I get that.
So that, but J. Cole just like boom. When the guy just gets going, I'm like, man, this just sounds like water.
I get that.
Artistically, imaginatively, is on a whole other level.
But that's because he doesn't have to deal with, hey, let me sing the hook unless I need to. Let me make the beat. I don't think he produces. He might have an input. Use this snare. Use that drum. Use that drum loop. Take out this. Take out that.
Or something.
I think so.
Is it Thundercat? I think Thundercat did his Pimp It, but yeah, he leaves it.
But you know what? But this goes also to something that's very interesting. Kendrick isn't in charge of his label. Kendrick is being managed by Top Dog Entertainment, TDE. So they have Absol, Schoolboy Q, J Rock, SZA, all those artists. J. Cole was just kind of like, he signed with Rock Nation because it's Jay-Z. But Jay-Z's kind of like, hey, yo, do what you want to do. And once it's good, we release it. So he just lets him do what he wants. I don't think Top Dog just lets Kendrick and all those guys do what they want. Like there's a more regimented handling. I think with that label.
By the time Damn came about, isn't Kendrick in the positions? But like, bro, I'm the biggest rap artist. I'm one of the biggest musical artists on the planet.
From what I hear about Top Dog, I don't think Kendrick would ever step in.
I have the ability to choose what the hell I want to do independent of Top Dog. I still want there to be a certain mind frame of, okay, I do this, you do this, you do that, and we create a classic.
Well, what I mean is, I think the fact that you have a production house, as it were, to help you create the album, and there's a structure set in place that's probably, I think, more regimented than what Rock Nation have. It's kind of like, I think Kendrick's just in a better, he's in a better system. It's like if you put, I don't know, if you put Harry Kane in Barcelona, he's not going to work. If you put him in Real Madrid, he might work. Yeah. So if you give J. Cole a system like Barcelona, let's say, something that just fits him, maybe you can squeeze out a classic album from him, you know? So that's how I'd put it.
But it takes too long to release new music, but when it's quality.
Like how fast do you think it takes to make a Pimp a Butterfly?
Well, that's
a couple years.
That takes time.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe Kendrick's so smart he can do it in a year, but I don't think so.
Actually, let me ask you this. Do you think Kendrick already has an album that's done or almost done, or he's not even begun work on an album?
I don't pay attention. I'm not sure. Like, has he?
No, God's feeling, because again, no one knows, but God's feeling.
When was his last release? Damn was 2017 or 2018?
I think it was Kendrick.
If it's 2017, then I think yeah. If it's 2018, I'm thinking maybe he's working on something. I think it was 2017.
Yeah, 2017, 14th of April.
Yeah. So that I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like November, December, January, February, March.
You see, this is my plea to J. Cole, and you see, I get it. It is an impossible position to come out of it, because I think, basically, J. Cole, I think he's in a dilemma. He doesn't know. He knows. He knows of the criticisms of you're boring, you're mundane, it's so samey. And I think he was definitely disappointed that For Your Eyes Only and KOD didn't make enough of a big impact. But at the same time, he's listening to those strong supporters. He has you can say his yes men around him. And as you now said, he owns Dreamville. You know, so he is the king of his own castle. And he does not have anyone to sort of rein him in and say, yo, bro, this is what you need to do. But he needs to understand that the more you insulate yourself, the more difficult it will be to create a true classic album. And see, this is what rappers don't understand. You see, a guy like a Pheromone, he never got worse at rapping. But you had great production on Internal Affairs. The production on the other albums was very good. So you were still rapping great, but because the production was very good, the album wasn't very good. You can't, no matter how good of a rapper you can't create a classic album with beats that don't work. You can't. The beats are imperative.
J. Cole's beats work. It's just that J. Cole's beats don't work 13 times in a row. So you need just like how we saw with Big Crit, you can produce a large section of the album, but get some help for like 4 or 5 of the tracks just to give you maybe something different. Because other people have ideas of what J. Cole might sound good over, and those ideas just might hit. So
okay, do you know my thing is this?
Big Crit can't produce a mixed messages, I don't think. He can rap over it and sound amazing, but would he pick those drums? Would he pick a sample? Would he pick this? Would he pick that? Probably not. So J. Cole just you carry it, produce 60% of the album, but save 40% to focus on the concept, to focus on the bars, to focus on whatever. Just peace of mind.
No. You see, because you see, my thing is, it's a brain thing.
It's pride, is what it is.
No, but it's a brain thing. If you're you're a feature, like when he was featuring for Bubbler Boats, I'm just coming to rap. I'm coming 100%. All I'm doing is rapping and I'm out. And that guy rapped his ass off. And there are not many people who can rap better than Royce the 5'9" at his peak, which is like now in the last few years. Because I mean, Royce the 5'9" is one of the best rappers.
Doesn't Royce produce as well? Is he another one that produces and raps?
Let me be real with you. Let me be real with you.
I don't really rock with him like that, but I think he's another one.
Did you listen to his last album? Wait, no. Did you listen to his last two albums?
No.
Listen to them, because you see, Royce the 5'9" was a guy who I wasn't really that big of a fan to begin with. I was like, okay, it's cool, but he's gotten so much better now. But I listened to his last two albums. At first, I was like, but when I listen to it again and again and again, I'm like, first of all, the production is really good. Really good, like really good production that isn't samey, and the rapping is also very good as well. So listen to like, okay, maybe not about, because I think
I'll check it.
2-3 listens, it's like, this is really good. But still, despite that, my thing for J. Cole is, if this dude got a producer and he just focused on rap, you will get a classic album, guaranteed.
Or if he just wanted to be a producer, I think he could be a really good producer. But
yeah,
but you can't be both. he specifically can't be both, in my opinion, which is why I'm still waiting on my classic official album.
Okay, so can you look up some of the freshman cover list starting with 2011?
This should be fun.
Okay. So basically, this is where the basically predicts who will be the biggest guys of the forthcoming year.
Yep.
So XXL,
and I'd say around 2015, these things start going a bit wayward.
Freshman.
April 14th, 2017. Wow. These were a big deal. Was 2011 the first one? It might have been.
Wait, where do we see the cover?
Just go Google Images, man. Like, go tools, large, and then.
Okay, yeah. So more tools, size, large. All right. Put link in new tab.
Wait a minute. Which one is the Wale, J. Cole? Which era is that one? That might be try 2009. Let's start with 2009.
Let's just say 2011 and
okay.
It's open image in it. There you go. All right. Oh, this is Kendrick.
But see, yeah, this is one Kendrick should have been on it before. So we have, I mean, I see Diggy Simmons.
Is that
Lil B, Fred the Godson, rest in peace.
Oh wow! So he was actually so he was actually a big deal. So
Yellow Wolf,
underground dude.
That's Yellow Wolf. I see Saha the Prince. I see Big Crit. I see Mac Miller. Obviously Kendrick. I'm not. Is that YG? That's YG. Bottom right. I'm not sure who's in the Phillies stuff. And I'm not sure who's the little kid in the back. I'm not sure.
Let me get.
It might be like Little Twist or somebody like that. But from Young Money's crew. Young Money, Cash Money.
All right, this is much clearer.
There we go. So yeah, it might be Twist, Fred the Godson, Yellow Wolf, Sci the Prince.
Wait, who's this guy?
YG.
Okay, YG.
The fuck Donald Trump guy. Fuck Donald Trump. Ironically, we got fuck Donald Trump next to Donald Trump and Mac Miller. That's Meek, isn't it? It is Meek. Jeez. Okay.
What, Meek Mill?
Yeah, he's in the Philly stuff. I was like, who is that in the Philly stuff?
Oh wow, damn.
He looks different. He looks very different. But yeah, so like that row of Meek, Crit, Kendrick, and Mac Miller. That's solid. They're surrounded by I'll include Sci-Hi. Sci-Hi's dope. The rest of these, maybe YG, not sure.
All right, let's go to 2012.
No, let's go backwards. Can we get 2010, please?
All right, 2010.
Swear down, I didn't recognize that was Meek. I thought that was totally somebody different.
So is that
now we're talking. This is when I started paying attention.
Hey, J. Cole.
So we got J. Cole.
Well, isn't that Freddie Gibbs?
Freddie Gibbs, J Rock, Wiz Khalifa, and
so J Rock came out before Kendrick.
Yeah. Can we remove the?
Yeah.
Pill. See, that's why I thought it was OJ the Juice Man. Big Sean is in the blue hat. I was like, who's in the blue hat for Sean? For Sean's dope. But this is when I started paying attention to these covers. Keep in mind, when did this come out? 2010. So yeah, I was like 20. Good times. Was it one from 2009? That would have been the Wale one.
There you go.
Maybe Wale was the one that I started paying attention with. But I'm not sure. 10 freshmen for 2010.
This is 09. Was that
Papoose, Joey Ortiz,
Joel Ortiz, yeah.
Plaz.
That's not Lupe.
That's Lupe. Boosie. That's the Throw Some D's. What's the Throw Some D's on it, dude? Rich Boy. And I'm not sure who that is.
Oh wow, okay.
All right.
So
2009 was Lupe and Wale. But isn't this 2009 right here?
Yeah, that's 2009. So it's 2012.
2012 must have been the one. Because maybe Wale was one that was late. That's why he always complains.
Is that
this is where I left. This is the one I left. So we got Iggy Azalea, Hobson, Machine Gun Kelly, Future, Danny Brown, Macklemore, and I'm not sure. Is that French Montana? Yeah, it is.
Oh, who, this guy?
Yeah. This is where I left. I stopped paying attention after this one. Because these used to be a big deal. So who's going to be the freshman?
Oh gosh, I think this is where this is just where things go a bit haywire. Yeah, this is where we're like, this is like getting like very, very new school. 2013. Oh, Logic.
Scroll down. Is this the best class ever? I mean, actually, no, this class isn't that bad. No, I think about it. So we got Logic, Schoolboy Q, Joey Badass, Absol, Action Bronson, Chief Keef. I guess didn't make it to the shoot, but all right.
Yeah, it's like I think this is probably where I probably tap out. Yeah, I think this is around the time.
2014.
Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa. Yeah, a lot of these guys are doing. Yeah, so they start getting very, very new school.
Ty Dolla $ign.
Actually, is there a 2021 or does that not come out yet?
Look up 2019 because maybe 2020 hasn't come out yet. Nas on making a classic album. Oh.
There's the copy image address. Oh my god!
Actually, I think I know at least 3 of these.
So obviously that's the baby.
Baby, YMB. What's that guy's name?
Yeah, YBM Corday.
YBM Corday, Meg the Stallion, obviously.
Who's this dude?
I don't know.
Okay, some of you guys need to.
The dude in the middle is the guy.
August, is that August Alsina?
I'm not. What? Roddy Rich. Roddy Rich is that guy's name, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think the dude with the money is his name Blueface? Face Blue? Something?
Oh yeah, people say, "Oh, Blueface." I'm not listening to a guy called Blueface. That's happening. I'm not listening to a dude who calls himself freaking Blueface. Says that Boosie has the best interviews on Vlad. No. Boosie well.
He does. I'm trying to tell you, Vlad. This
okay,
Vlad.
Look, I've looked at that thing.
I gotta go too.
So look, man, thanks for when are we doing album match and stroke? What's classic, man? When are we rolling, man?
I don't know. To be determined. Y'all don't know Gunna? No, I don't know Gunna. We're old, man. We're in our 30s. So
anything 2015 thinking afterwards, I'm like, look, that's maybe a bit too new school for me. I tap out there. All right, guys, man. Peace to the app, man. Peace out. Stay true. Thank you for rolling through, and we'll see you guys probably Monday.
Rico Nasty is the one who looks like the Joker. Okay. I'm just reading the comments.
All right, guys. Peace out. Peace. Become a Hip Hop Talks member and gain access to exclusive videos and also the chance to watch films, anime, or different videos with your boy HH exclusively. Just click below on the join button to join in and become a Hip Hop Talks member to gain access to these perks. Just click on the community icon over here to view the new